Hi. Well, sooner than expected, after my receiving of a disappointing email from Amazon to tell me that my 7800 Plus wasn't going to come till the 21st of December, I then got a surprise one telling me it was coming yesterday. Today. And it has just arrived. So, ba 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 ba. The box is a little bit dinged up right here. I'm hoping nothing has gone through to the thing inside, but we shall find out. And if so, it's just a box. I'm not one of those people who get super uptight about that. Well, there's a bit of paper inside, so ta-da, looks fine. This is much more petite thanks to the lack of physical clickety-click switches on the top. This box is much smaller than the one for the 2600 Plus. Packaging things out of the way. So here's the box. Pretty exciting. I've already got a 3-meter HDMI cable plugged in from the 2600 Plus because the 1.5 meter that comes with just doesn't do it for me, since the shelf that I have this unit on is not tall enough to accommodate cartridges being plugged in. So, we got our little adhesive don't open the box sticker. Do a quick slice on that. And let's see. Packaging looks every bit as exciting as the other one. Look how neat that is. I mean, they really did such a good job just with the packaging. It has, like, you know, an Apple-esque, dare I say, degree of finesse and economy of space. So, like the 2600 Plus, I expect this will be the controller, although it might also be cables, because the wireless gamepad is a lot more compact than a CX40 joystick. So, inside this we have a plastic tray, and as expected, cables, 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 and CX78 Plus wireless gamepad. And, oh, snug. I got one of these separately with my order, so that's nice to have two. And in a recess underneath are the dongles and the jig. We'll pop them all out. I mean, the little stick, I'm not a fan of the stick. And we also get the pack-in cart of Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, which is a homebrew 7800 game given life on a cartridge. You know, if I was a programmer who made one of these things and it got given life in this fashion, I mean, surely every homebrew programmer's dream is to get that kind of recognition. So we have two different C to A cables, so add these to the collection. I will be making use of one of them because I'm not a person who would not include everything when they are giving out things for free. So the original power cable for the 2600 Plus is going to be in that box, and these two cables, I'll use one of them for my actual powering the 7800 Plus, and the other one will be, yeah, they're both 1.8 meters, these cables. So one of them I'll use for that, and the other one I'll just hold in reserve. someday the A to C cable is going to look quaint, and people will go, damn it, why didn't they just go C to C out the jump? Now I got to keep this old charger that still that can use a C to A, that has A-type USB ports on it. Not as easy to get this thing back in as it was to take it out. Sandwich these in here. There we go, that's better. Okay. Now the actual unit has a nice plastic tray on top of it, which will double as a dust cover. Unlike the 2600 Plus, the ports on this are below the cover, so I will be able to use this without cutting notches into it. And we can see, in addition to the it's super lightweight, this is really just the cutest. I mean, I really like the design of this machine. I have to say, when I saw the 2600 Junior, there was a point several years ago where I almost bought one of those because I did like the fact that it was super compact, had a cartridge slot in it. The buttons are kind of soft touch. Now, one thing I'm not clear on, oh, here we go. Ah, yes. Okay, so we have difficulty switches on the front. I've never seen an original 7800, so I have no idea. I assume this is accurate to the way those units actually looked back in the day. I'm going to put them in A position, although, you know, flip a coin which games use A for harder or less difficult. There's no consistency. And we have our 9-pin ports up front for easy access. The rear, we have the HDMI, the 16x9 4x3 switch, and the power. And that's it. 4 rubber feet on the bottom. There's like some kind of vents for what I assume is some kind of metal heatsink. And then we have, just in case you thought we were going to get a repeat of the 2600 Plus, a manual for the included game. Yes, that's one of the things I've enjoyed most about these new game releases. As unlike the first wave releases from the 2600 Plus, all of these include an owner's manual. So this tells us that the difficulty switches can be used in different positions to choose between controller type and button config. So left switch A, right switch A gives you 2 button control. Both in B, 1 button, with up being jump, and then 2 buttons switching the function of the 2 buttons if you flip them in the other directions. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like it. And then we have the quick start guide. Quick start guide says plug cable into power, plug cable into TV, plug cartridge into slot, plug dongle into port, press power, and play a frickin' game. And then it tells us how to use the CX78 wireless gamepad as well. That's all integrated, which, you know, as I did with the first one, I didn't say the function exactly, but you press and hold the sync button for 3 seconds when you plug in the dongle and you turn the power on, and you hit a button on the gamepad, the white light, there's a white sync light that will go flash, 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 flash. It's a small pinpoint LED between the power connector and the sync button, and you hold that button down for 3 seconds and you get a solid white light on the end of in the middle. There's a little, you probably can't see it here, but below the Atari symbol there is a white dot LED on both the USB and 9-pin port. in my last Let's Play video, I did note that the wonderful CX78 Plus wireless gamepad worked a treat with MAME on my M1 Mac Mini. The only button remapping I had to do was on 2-button games, or at least one of the 2-button game that I played. It seemed to map both button functions for the arcade game to one button. So I don't know if that's an oddity with the gamepad and the way that it gets detected, but I did have to manually remap. Otherwise, everything came up fine. But if you do want to go and use it with your computer or some other, I haven't tried it. I still have to try it with the M400 or the 400 Mini rather. If you do want to try USB and then switch back to DB9, every time you switch between these, you do have to resync the gamepad to the dongle that you're choosing. So bear that in mind. It's an easy process to resync, and no complaints from me regarding lag or anything else. I've been using CX78 Plus to play Galaga on the 2600 Plus without any noticeable lag issues. So now that I have this, that means I can finally play some new 7800 carts that were released that I got a week ago when I should have had this. But hey, a week? I can live with a week. Heck, I could live with like a month. I mean, what can I say? I'm in my mid-50s, so I have all the time in the world, apparently, to wait for things to happen. Right, so I'm going to play some 7800 games to round out this video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this thing unboxed. It is, you know, as quality presentation as I could ask for. I think that, you know, this new era of Atari consoles is well thought out. They're playing to their strengths. Play the old stuff, you know, give some new life to the machine with games from the die-hard enthusiasts. Hard to fault that philosophy. And hopefully we will continue to see more re-releases and new releases. There's a whole ton of rare games out there. Obviously rights issues are going to be a problem, but I'm hoping that we'll at least get some of the stuff that was released as a special edition, like Save Mary and Aquaventure. I would love to see a general release. I'd happily buy anything. Even if I already have a cart on the shelf, to get a new one, the new box, an actual physical manual, because most of my carts are cart-only purchases, and I don't have physical manuals unless I printed out a PDF, which is not the same thing. I would happily buy them again. So, por favor, Atari. But what I really want, I think, you know, the next big thing I'd love to see would be a proper trackball release and a collection of games that used trackballs in the arcade, you know, arcade ports, and with proper trackball support, not some kind of weird trackball acts like joystick stuff like they had on the actual trackball controllers they released back in the day, because it was a late entry to the system. That's all I care about. I don't need to see every console that Atari ever made given a second life as a Plus system. I think that, you know, this is good enough for me, and I'd love to see some focus on that. Build that base. Give us retro fans something that's, you know, got more of the flavor of the past than anything we've seen to date. Being able to play physical cartridges, huge. Huge, huge, huge. Thank you for that. And let's play some Atari. Alright. Gonna play some game now. First item up, Asteroids Deluxe. We got the following carts. Asteroids Deluxe, Crystal Quest, Bentley Bears Crystal Quest, which was a pack-in. Berserk for the 7800, Frenzy for the 7800, Space Duel for the 7800, and then a couple of little 2600 games. Tunnel Runner from CBS, which is a RAM cart. I'm hoping this will work. Should work. It's running firmware 2.0 apparently. And my NTSC copy of Robot Tank, because I gave away the PAL one, because I already had this. NTSC Robot Tank, fixed in the firmware a billion years ago. And the last thing I'm going to try to do is see if I can get Star Raiders to work. I know people say you can't do it at the same time. I'm going to see if I can disconnect, reconnect, play a little. See if I can play it, even if I can't play it with both controllers connected. In the meantime, let's have a look at this. Not bad. I mean, we're simulating vector graphics. The controls are pretty straightforward. The extra button helps, without a doubt, because I can do the shield. This is a homebrew render. There's the killer satellite. Ooh, a little weird sound effect in between stages. Cool. So that was Asteroids Deluxe. Now, this cart has a bonus feature on it, a hidden game, because back in the day, in Europe, the 7800 console had Asteroids as a built-in, but that's not the case with the 7800 Plus. So when they put out this cartridge, they decided to include it as a hidden feature. Now, if you have an Atari 2600 Plus, well, you got to do something a little bit different. You can look it up in the forum and find out for yourself. But for this guy, press and hold the pause button. And we get Asteroids instead of Asteroids Deluxe. Let's have a play. Oh goodness. Oh, I just did that. The simulated vector graphics are quite a treat. I do like these. I mean, there's something to be said. Oh. Of course, I'm getting used to the fact that you gotta press the other button to do hyperspace, but oh, and it seems to be flaking out a bit. Could be a bug that needs fixing. Occasionally when I press fire, it wants to do the other thing. Alright, Bentley Bear is Crystal Quest. Bentley Bear is a platform mascot. Could have been something that actually happened back in the day if the 7800 had not met an ignominious end as a console that didn't get much in the way of sales or have much in the way of the library. You can see in the corner there, well maybe you can't, I don't know, but it says 2.0 and 7800 Plus. Alright, let's start. Okay, there's a jump button. I'm guessing the other button is some kind of action button. What? Why did I die? What happened? Okay. Okay. I've got an energy level that's going down steadily. So I don't appear to want to... Oh, it's not too unusual. I mean, you get ticking clocks on a lot of this kind of game. Even Mario had one of those, I think. Whoa! We can clip through things? Oh look, you can play co-op, competitive. That's kind of cool. Looks like this might be a port. It has a credit to somebody. Not bad. Ooh, okay. Cool. I like the voice. What was that? Oof. I think they need a lozenge. Well, graphically, it's very faithful to the arcade. Alright, let's book it. Frenzy is an arcade game. Meh, I mean, it's a decent sequel, I guess. There's lots more robot types and that, and you can shoot Evil Otto to get a temporary reprieve. Evil Otto will come back and clobber you anyway, but let's see, and it's still the same. I think it's the same guy did it. And you can shoot some of the walls, and there's reflective walls. There we go. Yeah, that was one thing I wanted to try out because I remembered you could make your own exit basically. You can destroy these walls. I think I'm going to outrun this guy. Oh, it's not looking good. Okay, one player, expert, advanced, 2 players. Advanced, so that's linked, that's competition, team play. Alright, let's play intermediate. Right, so it basically is controlling like asteroids. I mean, it's like a more colorful asteroid, basically, with some different enemies. The action of the ship is pretty good. That's cool. I'm not trying to play a marathon here. There we go. Cool. Well, I know Robotend works. Right. So, time to clean a card that I like to use. I'm just keeping it basic. Cotton swab, isopropyl alcohol, aka rubbing alcohol. Now, I take one end and I do the top surface of the card. The good thing about some of these, well, I guess it's good and bad, is bad in that if these things had the little plastic covers like the Atari cards did, they get less dirty. There's not a lot on here, so I usually just rub it back and forth, and then I'll just do a in and out motion on the individual contacts, and that's usually good enough. Some of these things are really dirty. I mean, there is some visible schmutz on there. So, you know, you're not going to have a game that's 40 years old and has metal contacts. This card cost me $15, so I'm hoping it works. Tunnel Runner is kind of an uncommon one. It is possibly the first example of a first-person action game. I don't think there's any shooting in it. I read the manual, but I'm hoping this thing works. I have never had a duff cart. I never had a cart that was just junk. I'm just blowing on it to dry out the alcohol, not for reasons of a magical nature. Well, I'm going to call time on this one. Tunnel Runner appears to be a bust. It's my first duff cart. I've cleaned it 4 times. Just not doing it. I might try again, cleaning it some more someday, but I'm not getting any dirt off the thing, so it feels like this one just might have popped its clogs. Without busting the card open, hard to say, and I don't fancy doing that at the moment. But, you know, we can't win them all. Cards like this one's from, what is this? No, it doesn't. 1982. So it's over 40 years old. They can't all work. But otherwise, 78 plus, slick piece of kit. So cute. It's such a cute Wii guy there. I definitely think it's worthwhile. I mean, if you like the aesthetics of I like the aesthetics of the 2600 plus, but the fact is, they kind of got it more on the nose with this one. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to do. Alright, let's see how we do. Star Raiders. Okay, nothing happened on the keypad. Let's unplug the joystick. Still doesn't pick it up. So nope, no dice for me. So that was a bust. So there you have it, folks. The 7800 Plus in action. The controller slot, or the cartridge slot rather, is a bit, it seems to make good contact. It's quite stiff, you know. There is a little more of a struggle to get the carts in and out, but I'm assuming over time that's it'll break in a bit. Some of the behavior is different from the 2600 Plus. Instead of having load failed, it'll say no game detected. Okay. Star Raiders, complete bust. I thought maybe if I had disconnected the joystick and then I could maybe get it to read the inputs on the keypad, but no such thing. So either, basically Star Raiders, someone needs to do something to get it to make sure that it's reading both ports for inputs at the same time. Joystick in port 1, gamepad in port 2. It's got to be something goofy like that. Wish they had tested that before they shipped the thing, but we can't have everything, I guess. So hopefully we'll get a firmware update that all of us can install, and I'll finally get to play Star Raiders with a keypad again for the first time since 1980, whenever I played my 2600 last. And I've got a Duff cart. Tunnel Runner, complete bust. 4 cleanings, still couldn't get it to do more than make a horrible tone after flicking some broken graphics. Might be it needs more clean. I couldn't see much mileage out of that. I would have thought I would have got something going, so I'm inclined to think the cart's just a duffer. But I'm not going to chuck it in the bin just yet. We'll see. But the new carts, aces. Really good stuff. Although I do now have basically 3 versions of Berserk. If I want to count Frenzy as a version of Berserk, which I kind of do, and 3 versions of Asteroids. If I want to count my Atari 2600 Asteroids, Asteroids Deluxe, which comes with a bonus version of Asteroids, 7800 Plus, hold the pause button, 2600 Plus, do something different, and then Space Duel, which is a more colorful version of Asteroids, essentially. But good stuff. And Bentley's Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, pretty good little platformer. I need to put some more time into it, but not bad stuff at all. So kudos to Atari for a release that exceeded the 2600 Plus in my estimation, in terms of what it can do game-wise, compatibility-wise, but it still falls short because I can't play my favorite game. I will someday crack that one, I'm sure. Till next time, folks, keep gaming.